That's all.
Good evening, students. Welcome to Auricle's 21-day revision series live class for university exams. I'm Dr. Preetham Shenoy from the Department of PSN. The topic for today is health communication and health planning. Okay. So what are the questions of discussion for today? Long essays discuss in detail about the principles of health education, the aims, objectives, various approaches, merits and demerits, also methods employed for group teaching. The second question is barriers of health communication. The short essays are Srivastav Committee, Kartar Singh Committee, and Mudaliar Committees, a comparison, planning cycle, network analysis, cost benefit, and cost effective analysis. Why choose Auricle? Auricle has many benefits. The first one is recorded classes, where you can learn anytime, anywhere with a library of recorded classes, study at your own place, and revisit challenging topics whenever you need. Live classes engage in real-time learning experiences, where you can connect with the expert educators and fellow students as you participate in an interactive session. The practical sessions helps you to immerse in the world of practical knowledge. You will get clinical skills and you will comprehensively understand the concepts. The exam module will be specially curated, which will cover the entire syllabus under 20 hours. And the hard copy book set will elevate your academic experience, which is by the Auricle's comprehensive notes designed by a solid foundation. The foundation classes help you to unlock the power of learning and offers freedom to choose from multiple educators for each subject and bringing over 10 years of previous year experiences. It will effectively prepare you for your FMGE exam, NEET professional examination, next examination, etc. The live classes prepare you effectively for your professional exams. It's a 45-day live class series. The program is designed to cover the entire syllabus with all past 10-year questions discussed, most anticipated questions discussed, etc. So there will be in-depth coverage by our experienced educators. The Express exam module is meticulously designed to cover the entire syllabus under 20 hours. You will get answer writing skill tips. You will also get to know how to face the time management in the exam and other various exam strategies. One-to-one doubt clearing sessions where our teachers will revise all essential topics, provide you tips on answering the questions effectively, and highlight the important points. So it's a student-centric approach. All your doubts will be cleared irrespective of the doubt it is, and you will get a safe learning experience. The hard copy note set will prepare you effectively to write the answers in your professional exams, how to write an answer. It is again a 45-day series, which will have in-depth coverage by experienced educators. Also, there is option of interactive learning where you can participate in live polls, MCQ questions, viva voce, and doubt clearance. The question bank has 3 levels of expertise from beginner to expert level. So it is customizable according to your needs. So covers the MCQs for professional exams, NEET, PG, and FMGE exam. Practical sessions where you can unlock the potential of your practical knowledge designed to provide you hands-on experience and in-depth understanding of the practical examination. Also, you will be thoroughly prepared for viva voce and your confidence will be elevated so that you can face the exam effectively. So our subscription plans offered by the Auricle are: first one is the foundation plan, charged at rupees 19,999 for a duration of 3 months. And the benefits are pre-recorded classes, live classes, express exam module, practical sessions, question bank. There is no hard copy book set or one-to-one doubt clearing session in this plan. The same plan for duration of 6 months, which is charged at rupees 32,999, is advanced learning plan. Coming to the complete learning plan, it is of duration 12 months, charged at rupees 59,999. It has all the benefits of Auricle platform, including hard copy notes and one-to-one doubt clearing session. The ultimate MBBS plan is of duration 4 years, again where you will get the benefit of pre-recorded classes, live classes, express exam module, hard copy notes, question bank, practical sessions, and one-to-one doubt clearing session. It is charged at rupees 1,89,999. Please use the code Dr. Shenoy 20 for getting a discount on the subscription plans. So coming to our first question, the committees, health committees we'll discuss. The first one among them is the Srivastav committee, which we are going to discuss today. What was the purpose of Srivastav committee? It was set up to integrate medical education with rural health service and address the rural health infrastructure gap in India. Simple, right? Integrating the medical education with the rural health services. So what were the key recommendations under this? Creation of a three-tier healthcare system, that is from PHC at the grassroots level, community health center at the secondary level, and the district hospital for specialized care. So this is what is existing even today, right? Three-tier system. So this was the recommendation of the Srivastav Committee of 1974. Next recommendation was introduction of medical interns for rural health service. Now, medical students were encouraged to spend time in rural health centers as part of their training. And now you are third years. In 2 more years, you will be interns. Then you will be posted in community health centers for 3 months now. Okay. So this was also a recommendation based on the Srivastav committee. The third one is development of rural health service. Recommendation of a minimum of 1 PHC for 30,000 population. Is this not the present population norm? Yes, no, 30,000, it is 20,000. Yeah, so now it is 20,000. So 30,000 population in rural areas was the recommendation from the Srivastav committee. It has already also suggested staff at PHCs, including multipurpose worker, etc. So that was the multipurpose health worker scheme, first time introduced under Srivastav committee. That is combined the roles of various health workers like auxiliary nurse, midwife, male health worker, into a single multi-purpose health worker. That means that one single health worker will have multiple responsibilities pertaining to public health. The last recommendation is family planning technique. So integrated the family planning and health services to create a unified healthcare approach. So what are the recommendations here? Creation of three-tier healthcare system, introduction of medical interns for rural service, development of rural health service, that is PHC norm for every 30,000 population, multi-purpose worker scheme, and last, integration of family planning into rural health service. So simple, right? So what was the impact here? Srivastav committee laid foundation for India's rural health mission, right? National Rural Health Mission, NRHM. Yeah. So Srivastav committee was the bedrock for this. Okay. So it influenced the Alma Ata Declaration of 1978. So even the Alma Ata Declaration of 1978 was because the Srivastav Committee of India, it influenced the Alma Ata Declaration, that is health for all, right? Coming to the next committee, that is the Kartar Singh Committee of 1973. This was 1 year before the Srivastav Committee. What was the purpose here? The committee was formed to improve the efficiency of primary health workers, focusing on basic health worker training and infrastructure. So basically improvising the workforce, human resources, and their training, right, along with the infrastructure. So revised staffing norms, recommendation of one multipurpose worker for every 10,000 population in rural areas. Also proposed one female multipurpose worker, that is the auxiliary nurse midwife, and a male multipurpose worker for every PHC. Second was introduction of health supervisors. Recommended one health supervisor for every 4 health workers to ensure proper guidance and monitoring. The third recommendation was training and skill development, that is advocated for a structured training program for multipurpose health workers to handle preventive, promotive, and curative services in the health centers. The last one was focus on community participation, that is encourage the involvement of local community in planning and implementing of the healthcare services. So what was the impact here? Recommendation shaped the multipurpose worker scheme, which was then implemented based on the Srivastav committee recommendations. It idea originated in the Kartar Singh and implemented in the Srivastav. Okay, so that also became an integral part of the National Health Mission, which is running today. So it enhanced the rural healthcare delivery by creating a more robust workforce. The third committee, that is the Mudaliar committee, which was 1962, almost 9 years before the Kartar Singh committee. So what was it? The purpose of this committee? It was set up to review India's healthcare system and recommend changes for improving the medical education and health services. Again, it is almost similar to the Srivastava committee, right? So we will get a different comparison, almost similar to Srivastava, but little different in the numbers. So first one, again, strengthening the primary healthcare system. It is PHC for every 40,000. How much was it in Srivastava? It was 30,000, right? It was 30K in Srivastava. It is 40,000 in the Mudaliar committee. Proposed better equipment and infrastructure. This is in every committee. Okay. Specialized training for doctors. Recommended creating a specialized postgraduate institution to improve the quality of medical education. There, what did the Srivastava committee recommend? Medical interns in the RHCs, rural health centers. Here it is specialized PG training for postgraduate institutions and advocated for inclusion of preventive and social medicine in the curriculum. So this is the reason why he was studying community medicine, that is preventive and social medicine today. Okay. So the third one is health planning for all levels. Recommended the establishment of regional health boards to oversee the health administration. Suggested the decentralization of health services for efficient management. Okay. The fourth recommendation was improvement in the rural health service. That is, emphasized the importance of rural health, advocated for improving rural health infrastructure, etc. Last one was focus on preventive care. That is, the stressed need for preventive health care to reduce the burden on curative services. Prevention is always better than cure. That was the mool mantra of this Mudaliar committee. So again, 40K PHC population, strengthening the PHC infrastructure, training doctors, that is specialized postgraduate institution, health planning at all the levels of healthcare, improving the rural health services and the service delivery, and the last one, focus on the preventive care. Okay. So what was the impact? It influenced the planning of India's health infrastructure during the second and third 5-year plans. So for almost 10 years of India's 5-year plans, the Mudaliar committee influenced. So the recommendations laid groundwork for India's modern medical education system. So this is a simplified table of all the different committees. The Srivastava committee's focus was on rural health service integration, whereas Kartar Singh's was efficiency of primary healthcare workers, the multipurpose workers, whereas Mudaliar committee's was medical education and healthcare planning. The tier structure, 3-tier healthcare system. Here it was just strengthening the multipurpose worker, whereas Mudaliar was focused on rural infrastructure and planning. Training emphasis, internship in rural areas for medical students, whereas Kartar Singh was again training of multipurpose worker, whereas Mudaliar's was specialized postgraduate medical training. Right? So the difference is this. Key innovations here, multipurpose health worker concept was implemented in the Srivastava. It originated in the Kartar and implemented in the Srivastava. Here, what was the key innovation? Health supervisors, 1 for every 4 health worker, 1 for 4. Okay, for every 4, 1 person. Here in Mudaliar, it was regional health boards. What was the target population ratio? 1 PHC per 30,000 in Srivastava. Kartar Singh, 1 multi-purpose worker, not PHC. PHC recommendation was not there in Kartar Singh. Here it was 1 multi-purpose worker for every 10,000 people. And Mudaliar was 1 PHC for every 40,000 population. What was the impact of Srivastava committee? Basis for the National Rural Health Mission. Kartar Singh enhanced the workforce of rural areas, and Mudaliar committee modernized the medical education system. That is because of introduction of postgraduate training. Okay. So coming to the next question, that is the planning cycle. Very, very, very important. This can come as even for your OSCE. Okay. In your spotters, planning cycle can be kept. So what is it? Planning cycle is a systematic, step-by-step process used to design, implement, monitor, and evaluate the programs or strategies effectively. Very simple definition. It's a systematic, step-by-step process used to design the plan, implement the plan, monitor and evaluate the plan accordingly for which one? Health programs, health strategies, and various other programs run by the government effectively. Okay, so it is widely applied in various sectors, including health, education, and business, ensuring resources are optimally utilized. So here we'll discuss about the health planning cycle. Okay, health planning cycle. So the first step is Analysis of the health situation. This is the step number 1 in any of the planning. Okay, first I do analysis of the health situation. What is existing today? What are the incidence, prevalence of various diseases? I want to know what is the current situation. What is the number of maternal deaths? What is the infant mortality rate? What is the contraceptive use? How many malaria cases happened? How many new TB cases came? So all this is analyzing the health situation, right? After that, what I do, I formulate objectives and goals. Okay, I'll set the goals and objectives. Then it is assessment of resources based on my money, manpower, all those things. I'll assess how much do I have. After that, I'll stress the priorities, which priority I want first, right? This is similar to the disaster management cycle too, right? There also first it was analysis of the health situation, objectives and goals, formulating a plan, prioritizing the plan, then implementing the plan, and at the end, monitoring and evaluation. So again, after priorities, I formulate the detailed plan, then implement that program. Then after implementation, I'll monitor the program, evaluate the outcome of the program. After evaluation, again, I will replan whether any, again, analyze the health situation. What is the situation after the program has been implemented, whether there is decrease or increase in the cases or any health outcome. So based on that, I'll re-strategize and again formulate my objectives, assessment, priorities, formulate. So this is a complete cycle, okay, continuous cycle. So we'll go in through each of the thing. Situation analysis, that is assessment, to identify the current state, challenges, opportunities in the system or area under consideration. So what are the key steps? Data collection, problem identification, and stakeholder engagement. Okay, these are the key steps. What are the tools? SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, surveys, focus groups, need assessment, community needs assessment. All these things is situational analysis. What is the output here? A clear understanding of the baseline situation, what is existing today. Okay, so next one is goal setting, to define the overall purpose and desired outcomes of the plan. Okay, key steps are formulating the goals. First one, that is develop a broad long-term objective that aligns with the priorities. Set SMART objectives, define specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound objectives. Always objective should be very, very smart. What is SMART here? S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, T for time bound. Only then that objective is called as SMART objective. Let me give you an example. The goal is to reduce maternal mortality in rural areas. This is the ultimate goal. I have to reduce the maternal mortality. So what is the objective here now? Decrease. I am telling specifically, I am telling decrease what? Maternal mortality from 120 per lakh live births to 80 per lakh live births by 2030. So specific, is it specific? Yes, I am telling decrease maternal mortality. Is it measurable? Yes, it is from 120 per lakh to 80 per lakh live births. Is it achievable? Yes, I am not telling 120 to 20. I am telling 120 to 80, right? It is still achievable. Is it relevant? Yes, maternal mortality is a very big health problem, and thus we have to reduce maternal mortality. So it is a relevant objective. Last one, time bound. I am setting a timeline. I am not telling 100 years here, right? I am giving a specific year of 2030. So before 2030, I have to achieve this goal. So it is time bound. So did you understand the SMART objective criteria based on this example? I hope so. So after goal setting, I will do the priority setting. What is it? To decide which problems or areas to address first based on the available resources and potential impact. So key steps are criteria development, set a criteria for prioritization, example, severity, feasibility, cost effectiveness, etc. Stakeholder consensus, engaging decision makers and communities to align on the priorities. The last one is ranking the problems using scoring methods or decision matrices to the rank issues. Okay, the output is a prioritized list of goals or problems to address, which goal I have to achieve first. Okay, next I develop the plan to design an actionable strategies and interventions to achieve the set objectives. Okay, so key steps are strategy formulation, identify the best approaches to address the priorities, resources, work plan development, all those things. What is the output here? A detailed action plan specifying the activities, timelines, resources, etc. After formulating the plan, I implement the plan. So, to execute the plan and ensure activities are carried out as intended in the original plan. So, what are the key steps here? Mobilization of resources, task execution, and the stakeholder involvement, involving all the stakeholders for active participation. What are the challenges here? Unexpected hurdles such as budget constraints, logistical issues, and which may arise. Right at the stage of planning, I don't know what will happen. Okay. But when I'm implementing here, okay, when the plan is being implemented, I get so many obstacles. So after that, I will revitalize my plans accordingly based on the evaluation of the program. Okay. So I will get it through monitoring and evaluation. During the program, something is happening, then I'm doing monitoring. Now there is input and output, right? Input, that is I am doing something so that I'll get desirable outcome, right? This process, there is process in the middle, that is implementation, right? Input is planning part, right? What is the output? That is the outcome. This is the output after the this thing. So the process when it is happening, the input when it is being given, right? What I am doing, I am monitoring. Okay, so now I have a what you say, program of to reduce maternal mortality, anemia. So I have to control anemia. So what is the program here? WIFS, weekly iron and folic acid supplementation. So I am distributing the weekly iron and folic acid to adolescent girls, pregnant women, reproductive age women, lactating mothers. Okay, so these are all my target groups. So if the people are getting the required drugs on time or not, how many people are getting the drugs, all these things, if I am looking for, I am monitoring the program, that is WIFS program, weekly iron and folic acid supplementation program. But what is the outcome of this program? Decrease in the anemia prevalence among the said target groups, right? So I will evaluate the anemia in the same groups of people whom I have started the WIFS treatment on. The outcome is the evaluation part. Okay, so the input monitoring is when the program is happening, when the program is running, how the program is running, whether it is running smoothly or any hurdles are there. If I am analyzing that, that is called as monitoring. Whereas what is the end result of that program implementation, the outcome of that, how will I measure? That is the output, which is nothing but evaluation. So this is the simple difference between monitoring and evaluation. Okay. So next one is feedback and replanning. After evaluation, I will redo the plan if there is any changes required. Okay. So incorporate lessons learned and adapt the plans for future cycles. So analyze the result, identify the gaps, revise the plan. The output is a refined plan for the next cycle, ensuring a continuous improvement. So what are the characteristics of a good planning cycle? It is a iterative process. Like just we prepare itinerary when we go outside or plan for a trip or something. So it's a dynamic and I adjust based on the feedback. Okay. Evidence-based relies on accurate data and proven methods. Inclusive involves the stakeholders at every stage. Sustainable considers a long-term impact and resource availability. And last, goal-oriented, that is focused on achieving the measurable outcomes. What are the uses of planning cycle? First one is situation analysis in health. Okay, identifying the health needs, assessing the health statuses of a population, example, prevalence of diseases, maternal and child indicators, identifying the gaps in healthcare access, workforce or infrastructure. Example is conducting a health survey to determine the burden of diabetes in the population. So what is the use here? Provides evidence for targeted interventions. Example, diabetes awareness campaigns. If the prevalence based on the planning, if I have done a survey, I get the result that diabetes prevalence is more in that community, then I will intervene through a diabetes awareness campaign based on lifestyle modification, right? The second use of planning cycle is priority setting in health, allocating resources, like what you say, deciding whether to focus on reducing maternal mortality or improving the vaccination coverage based on available funding. Okay, so this is the priority. What is my current priority? So ensures optimal utilization of limited resources in the critical health areas. Goal setting in health. This is the third. So what is it? The defining objectives, set measurable health outcomes to guide efforts. Right? I gave you an example that time for goals. Use is to provide direction and framework for health programs. Next is plan development in health. Develop strategies to address prioritized health issues. Example, planning a national immunization drive. Okay. Next is implementation in health. Executing health programs, mobilizing resources, carrying out planned activities. Example, rolling out HIV/AIDS prevention program, training health workers, distributing antiretroviral drugs. Okay, monitoring and evaluation in health, tracking the progress, regularly monitoring activities, evaluating the outcomes. Okay, feedback and replanning, learn from successes and failures, revising the malaria prevention plan after identifying gaps in the mosquito net distribution. Okay, so specific applications are first one in national health policies, second in disease eradication programs, emergency preparedness, health infrastructure development, and the last one, community health programs. In all these places, planning cycle is useful. Coming to the next question, that is network analysis in health planning and policy. So, network analysis is a systematic approach to studying the relationship and interactions between various elements in a project, system, or organization. Okay, so in health planning and policy, it is used to manage complex projects, track the disease outbreaks, optimize resource allocation, improve coordination between the stakeholders. So, network analysis helps in identifying critical tasks, scheduling and optimizing allocation of resources, ensuring the timely completion of health programs or interventions. Now, I want to tell you what network analysis in simple language. All of you have seen our mothers cooking, or many of you yourself might be cooking in home. Okay, so there is a grand feast arranged in your home today, probably tomorrow. It's a Sunday, right? So a plan is that I want to prepare a biryani. I want to prepare a salad, vegetable salad. I want to prepare a sweet. Okay, so which takes the maximum time in all these three things, sweet, salad, and biryani? The biryani, right? So I will start preparing the biryani at the earliest because it takes longer time. Okay, whereas salad is hardly 10 to 15 minutes job and it has to be served fresh, right? I can't give a salad which is prepared 4 to 5 hours back. So I will be preparing salad the last. And in the meantime, middle time, whenever I get extra time, I will prepare a sweet dish. So I am actually planning how I will want to cook and prepare all three dishes so that they'll end up getting cooked at the same time at the end. And the people are getting fresh, hot food. That is my goal. So I gave you an example, right? So analyzing which task requires more amount of time will be started before the other tasks are started. This is the simplest way of me explaining network analysis to you. Okay, so just go back to the definition here. Now you read back based on my example. When you read the same definition, you will understand now. Okay, it's a systematic approach to studying the relationships and interactions between various elements in a project, system, or organization. Now, a project has to happen. There are 10 different things which will run parallelly to each other so that the project's goal is achieved. One person won't be doing everything, right? There are 10 people working on 10 different things, 10 different objectives. At the end, they'll converge and get to one single goal. So, identifying the different patterns and relationships between these is nothing but network analysis. Okay, so the two types of network analysis which has been told in PARC are PERT and CPM. I will discuss about this in detail. So what are PERT and CPM? They are widely used network analysis techniques for managing projects, especially in the context of healthcare planning and policy development. So both use network diagrams to represent the sequence of tasks, their dependencies, identify critical paths, but they have key differences in their approach. What are they? So first one is PERT, that is program evaluation and review technique. Program evaluation and review technique. This is a Viva question to you. This is a 2-marker to you. This can itself come as a 5-marker to you. So please understand what is PERT. It is a probabilistic method used for planning and managing uncertain projects. It is especially useful in health planning projects where task durations may vary and not predictable. That means I don't know by how much time I will finish the job. Okay, so unpredictability is a factor in PERT. So it helps in estimating the time required to complete a project while accounting for the uncertainties in duration of tasks. Okay, so what are the key features here? Time estimation under uncertainty. So we will take something called as time estimates. Now there are 3 types of time estimates I want to know. First one is the optimistic time. That is the best case scenario. Okay, I want to study the entire textbook of Park in a 1 month before exam. How will I achieve it? Maximum 1 month. That is the most likely time. Okay, most likely time is 1 month because after 1 month there is exam. Whereas optimistically, if I plan within 21 days, okay, so that is the most optimistic time. Okay, best case scenario. What is the pessimistic time? Pessimistic time is I don't finish even after 1 month. That means there is chapters left after 1 month also. I can't prepare effectively for my exam. So that is the worst case scenario. So all 3 times, that is optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic time. Okay, all these 3 things are taken care of and the expected time is calculated. That means what is the actually expected time for a project to complete. Okay, so what is the optimistic time? It is denoted by O, whereas most likely time, that is the normal one, that is M, and pessimistic time is P. So TE, that is expected time, is equal to O, that is optimistic time, plus 4 times most likely time plus pessimistic time whole divided by 6. Why 6 here? It is 4 plus 1 plus 1, 6. Okay, so just remember, if you forget the denominator, just add the numbers which are there before the letters. So 1O, 4M, 1P. So 1 plus 4 plus 1 is 6. So it is O plus 4M plus P divided by 6. That is the expected time for any activity. Okay, so here applications in health is first one, health campaigns, estimating the time to complete uncertain tasks like awareness program, design or distribution of resources. Research and development, estimating the time required for vaccine research or development. I don't know when the vaccine research will complete, when the trials get completed. Emergency response, managing uncertain timelines for setting up healthcare facilities during any pandemic. So all these things require a program evaluation review technique to determine the most probabilistic time required to complete that work. Okay, coming to the critical path method, that is the second network analysis method. So what is it? It is a deterministic. What was PERT? It was a probabilistic, right? It was a probabilistic. Here it is deterministic. Used to manage projects with known and fixed duration. There it was unknown, unpredictable. So in this method, the task duration is fixed and goal is to minimize the time and cost by identifying the critical task and optimizing the schedules accordingly. Okay. So what are the key features of CPM? Focus, that is time and cost management with fixed task duration. Critical path, longest path through the project network determine the minimum time needed to complete the project. Okay. So applications, first one is healthcare infrastructure development, managing fixed tasks like construction of a hospital, setting up health facilities. All these are fixed time. I know by how much time a building can get constructed, right? So their CPM will be used. Supply chain management, ensuring timely delivery of medicines, vaccines, medical equipment by managing the fixed scheduling task. Last one is public health programs, optimizing the scheduling of fixed tasks in vaccination, campaigning or mass health screening activities. Okay, so just see this example from PARK. I am starting a plan implementation, program implementation from here. So service is planned at this stage. From here, the staff is recruited and the equipment is ordered. Okay, how much time does staff recruitment happens for me? 4 months. equipment, it takes 2 months for the equipment to deliver. After the staffs are recruited, they require 2 more months to get trained. And after the equipment is ordered, it takes 10 months for the equipment to be installed. And once the staffs are trained, it takes 1 month for the staffs for knowing how to use the equipment, right? So learning with the equipment. Here it was only training. Here, once the equipment is installed, effectively training again. After the equipment is installed, it takes 1 more month to start providing the service. Now, which is the most difficult or the most time which is taken here, lost time? That is this 10 months, right? 2 plus 10. This is the, what you say, the critical path, right? Here 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This path is only 8. Whereas see this 2 plus 10 plus 1, almost 13 months. So firstly, this path has to be taken care of. So 2 plus 10 plus 1, this path is there, no, which is 13 months. It has to be chosen as the critical path. Okay. Then before I start recruiting the staff, I have to order for equipments, because it takes 2 months for equipment to just get delivered. After that, it takes 10 months for installation also, right? During these 10 months, I can finish off staff recruitment, staff training, and once by the time equipment is installed, these trained staffs are enough, right? So I have 12 months, that is 1 year to finish installation of the equipments, whereas I can finish the staff recruitment and training by only 7 months. So after 3 months of equipment order also, I can still start recruiting the staff. There is no hurry in staff recruitment, but I have to order equipment orderly at the first. Why? Because this is the place where the program might get delayed. Okay, so this is what the critical path method tells us, identifying the critical path and or doing the task which is taking the maximum amount of time first. Okay, so PERT is probabilistic, CPM is deterministic. Focus is on time estimation with uncertainty, whereas CPM is time and cost optimization. I know the time, I do it effectively there. Time estimates are optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic in PERT, whereas CPM, it is fixed time. Okay, critical path is to identify the critical path based on the expected time, whereas CPM, it is critical path based on the fixed time. Okay, here no explicit is used, whereas explicitly used for non-critical task. Okay, used case is example complex uncertain projects like research, emergency preparedness, etc. Whereas CPM, it is routine well-defined projects like construction activities or etc. Okay, so what are the steps in using PERT and CPM? First one is define the project, that is list all the tasks and activities, create a network diagram, estimate the activity times as I showed you, determine the critical path, and monitor and control. Okay, coming to the next part, that is the cost benefit and cost effective analysis. So cost benefit analysis is a method used to evaluate the cost and benefit of a health intervention or program in monetary terms. This is most important. Cost benefit is monetary. Okay, so the goal of cost benefit analysis is to compare the total cost with the total benefits to determine whether the benefits outweigh the cost. I have put 10 rupees in a health program. If I get a loss of 20 rupees from that program, then the benefit is minus 10 rupees, right? I am having a loss of 10 rupees there, right? So that is what the cost benefit analysis is doing. So the benefits and cost of an intervention are both expressed in monetary terms, very important. So if the benefits exceed the cost, the intervention is considered worthwhile and a decision can be made whether to proceed with the program. Okay, so based on monetary benefit only, I will judge a program whether it is cost benefit or not. So key steps are identifying the cost and benefit, listing all the costs like direct, indirect, opportunity cost, benefits like improved health, reduced mortality, increased productivity, right? So monetary valuation, assigning the monetary values to both cost and benefit. This can involve estimating the economic value of improvement in health using the value of statistical life or QALYs. Okay, comparison, calculate the net present value or benefit cost ratio. What is benefit cost ratio? Total benefit divided by total cost. whereas net present value is total benefits minus total cost. If this is negative, okay, then the program is not beneficial. If this is positive, then the program is beneficial, is what it tells. Example is vaccination program. I'll tell you. For measles, what are the costs? Cost of vaccine, training the healthcare workers, logistic and distribution cost, administrative costs. These are all the costs. Where are the benefits is reduced healthcare cost from preventing measles, right? So once the measles is prevented, that means many people are not absent from their work or school, right? Fewer hospitalization, hospital won't be overburdened. So less insurance claims, etc. Economic benefits from preventing productivity loss due to illness or premature death. Valuation of improved healthcare outcomes using the quality adjusted life years. So all these things are the benefits. Okay. So next is the cost effective analysis. What is the difference here? Cost effectiveness is to compare the costs and outcomes of the different health intervention that achieve the same goal or health outcome. So unlike cost benefit, cost effective does not convert health outcome into monetary terms. Very important. I am not measuring the benefit in monetary terms. Instead, it uses a non-monetary outcome. Example, life years saved, cases prevented, qualis gained, to compare the relative cost efficiency of interventions. Okay. Key steps are: first one, identify the intervention. Choose the health intervention that can bring that are being compared. Example, vaccination versus medication. Then calculate the cost and determine the direct and indirect cost associated with each intervention. Then measure the health outcome instead of cost benefit. Here, what I'm measuring: life years saved. How many people got saved? Disability adjusted life years saved. DAL is saved. Call is saved. Call is gained, not saved. Call is gained. So here cost effectiveness ratio is calculate the cost effectiveness ratio to assess which intervention provides more health benefit to a given cost. So in simple terms, if I want to explain cost effective analysis in health, now compare two HIV treatment regimens. First one is first line antiretroviral therapy. Second one is second line antiretroviral therapy. So outcome in intervention one is may provide an average increase of 5 years of life. Now, intervention 2, that is second line ART, may increase life expectancy by 7 years. Okay. Now, what is the cost for intervention 1? $500 per patient, whereas cost for intervention 2 is $1,200 per patient. Now, calculate the cost effectiveness ratio, that is cost of intervention divided by health outcome, that is QALY or daily saved. Okay. Now, what is the cost effectiveness ratio for intervention 1? It is $500 divided by 5 years, right? It was average increase of 5 years. So, $500 by 5 is $100 per year of life gained. Okay. So, every year extra $100 is being contributed by that saved person. That is the meaning here. For the intervention 2, it is $1,200 divided by 7 years. That is $171 per year of life gained. So what is more cost effective here? Cost effectiveness is intervention 2. That is what I came to know based on this cost effectiveness analysis. Did you understand the cost effective analysis now? Okay. So key differences is cost benefit compares the cost and benefit in monetary terms. Here it is non-monetary terms. Outcome is both costs and benefits are measured in monetary units, whereas here cost effective outcomes are measured in natural units, life years, cases prevented, etc. So decision criteria is benefit cost ratio and net present value, whereas in cost effective it is cost effectiveness ratio. Where is cost benefit best used? When both costs and outcomes can be expressed in monetary terms only. Whereas cost effectiveness is when interventions are compared based on their health outcomes like life expectancy, DALIs, etc. Example for cost benefit: vaccination campaigns, public health policies. Whereas cost effectiveness is comparing treatment options for diseases, screening programs, etc. Now, what are the aims of health education? One minute. So, first one is promoting health awareness. That is educating individuals and communities about health risk, prevention and care, encouraging individuals to adopt healthy behaviors. Preventing diseases, helping people understand the importance of preventive measures, reducing the prevalence of diseases, improving health habits. Third one is encourage the changes in personal habits, empowering individuals and communities, equipping with people with necessary information and skills to make informed decisions about their health, promoting community participation. This is the fifth aim of health education. Okay. So what are the objectives here? Increasing the knowledge, providing accurate, up-to-date health information, developing skills, changing attitudes, changing health behaviors, and improvising the health practices. Now, coming to health principles of education, principles of health education, this is important. What is it? It should be credible. So it is the degree to which message to be communicated is perceived as trustworthy by the receiver. So the receiver who is getting the health education so should perceive your information as credible. Okay. Second is interest. So it is a psychological principle that people are unlikely to listen to those things which are not to their interest. If the person is not interested in learning from you, then it is useless how much ever health education you do, right? So it should generate interest. Third one is participation. That means when people actively participate in educational activities, they are more likely to adopt the suggested behaviors. So there should be community participation. Fourth is motivation. So every person, there is a fundamental desire to learn, right? But awakening this desire is called motivation. I am motivating you to work. I am motivating you to get up and study. So all this thing is motivation. Unless motivation is there in that patient who is receiving health education, it is useless, right? Next is comprehension. What is comprehension? In health education, we must know the level of understanding or education and literacy level of the people to whom the teaching is directed. Now, if a person doesn't know English, if I am telling the health education in English, will it be useful? No. If I am getting a health education in Chinese language, will it be useful for me? No. So it has to be comprehensible to the person who is getting the health education. Next is reinforcement. What is reinforcement? Few people can learn it all once, right? But many people require repetition. So repeated health education campaigns has to be done so that people know what is actually right, what is actually wrong. So repetition is nothing but reinforcement. Next is learning by doing. What is learning by doing? So there's a Chinese proverb. If I hear, I forget. If I see, I remember. If I do, I know, which is what it tells. Unless I do it, I won't know it. Okay. How much ever I study or hear, I will at the end forget it unless I practice it in my own. So this illustrates learning by doing. I should do health education on somebody once before doing it directly to a person. Okay. I have to practice it on my own once at least. Okay. So known to unknown, that is proceed from concrete to abstract, from particular to general, from simple to more complicated, and from easy to more difficult, and from known to unknown. What are these principles? So directly I can't go to a complicated topic from nowhere. So I have to build a rapport. I have to slowly start increasing their knowledge about health. Okay. I simply can't go to a place and tell what you say for measles, you have to get such and such vaccine on this and this day. No, first I have to explain them what is measles. Then I have to tell them how measles is being caused. Then I have to tell them how I can prevent measles. Only after that they will understand, okay, so these are the things. So then vaccination, okay, because vaccination is such important. Why? Because measles is a very severe disease. Only then they will be open to get it. So known to unknown is that concept. Next is setting an example. So health educators should set a good example in things he is teaching. So they themselves has to follow what health education they are preaching. Okay. The person who is giving health education should be practicing what health education they are going to give to others. It is what setting an example means. If the person is not following the health education, there is no point in giving others, no point in giving yarn to others. Okay. Good human relation, sharing of information, ideas, feelings, happen most easily between people who have good relationship. So it's a building rapport. That is also very important. Next is feedback. The health educator can modify elements of the system, message, channels in the light of feedback from the audience. And last is leaders. So we try to penetrate the community through local leaders. Okay. So here we talk about community health leaders like village headmen, school teacher. So all these people, when they start doing something, then people will see, okay, the leader himself is being engaged in such and such practice, healthy practice. Then even I have to start practicing this new what you say health education, this thing. Okay, so what are the approaches in health education? First one is individual approach, that is the target is individual. Methods are counseling, one-to-one session, home visits. What are the merits here? Provides personalized advice and guidance, can address the specific concerns. Demerits are time consuming and resource intensive, limited impact in the broader communities. Okay, whereas group approach is group of individuals who share a common characteristic like school children, women, community groups. They are targeted as a group. So methods are group discussion, workshops, focus group meetings, etc. What are the benefits here? Encourages peer interaction and support, can be more cost effective and efficient than the individual counseling. I have limited resources, I can target many people. Demerits are may not address individual needs, and risk of misinformation or peer pressure will be seen. Okay, mass media is entire population at large group is bombarded through television, radio, newspaper, social media, posters, pamphlets, etc. What are the minutes here? Can reach a large audience very quickly and again cost effective, right? Whereas demerits are sorry, demerits are limited interaction with the audience and may not be effective for addressing specific needs. The community-based approach is targeting the community as a whole. So methods are community health programs, health fairs, awareness campaigns. Merits are building a sense of collective responsibility, facilitates community participation, and demerits are require significant resource coordination. School-based is targeting the school children. Okay, health education to school children. Okay, there is one more set of approach which is mentioned in path. Okay, what is that? First one is the regulatory approach. So what is that approach? It focuses on laws, regulations, policies that control the health-related behavior and protected public health. Examples are tobacco control laws, vaccination mandates, etc. What are the merits here? Widespread impact, enforceable measures, like there will be fines if they are not followed. Demerits are resistance to regulation, requires effective enforcement by the law. Okay, the second approach is service approach, that is direct provision of health services to individuals and communities, focusing on treatment and care. So examples are immunization program, maternal health services, etc. What are the merits here? Direct health impact, immediate care delivery, whereas demerits are resource intensive, may create dependency on services. Next is health education approach, that is focuses on teaching individuals and communities and disease prevention. So examples is anti-smoking campaign, nutrition education, etc. Merits are long-term behavior, prevention-oriented, and demerits are takes time to see the results. Okay. Last approach is primary healthcare approach. So it's a holistic approach that offers comprehensive community-based healthcare services for all. What are the methods employed for group teaching? First one is lecture and presentation. What I am doing now, a lecture. So a formal presentation where one person provides information to a group. This can be supported by visual aids such as slides, charts, or posters. Merits are suitable for large groups, efficient. Demerits are limited interaction. Well, the second type is discussions and group work. Small group discussions specific on specific health topics, sharing ideas and coming up with solutions. So promotes interaction, allows participants to learn from each other. Whereas demerits are, it may lead to dominance by few individuals. Many of them won't be interacting like others. Somebody will be introverts. Like, yeah, so that is a demerit. Third one is workshops and seminars. Interactive sessions focused on specific topics where participants engaged in activities, case studies, etc. Merits are hands-on training, encourages active participation of all, right? Because in workshop, everybody has to contribute. Only then they'll get the certificate. Demerits are time consuming, requires more manpower, skilled facilitators, etc. Next is role plays and simulations. Participants act out scenarios related to health issues to learn problem solving and decision making, like skits or role plays, etc. Merits are provides practical experience, engages the participants, they'll get visual this thing. Next, demerit is maybe uncomfortable for some participants, requires careful planning. Last is games and competitions, using games to teach health concepts in fun and engaging way, puzzles, crosswords, etc. Merits are making the learning enjoyable, increases the participation. Demerits may not be always suitable for all the topics. The last one, that is barriers of health communication. So what are the barriers here? Effective health communication is essential for promotion of health, whereas various barriers can hinder the communication process. So which are the barriers? Cultural barriers, differences in the cultural beliefs, values, customs, practices. They can affect the health message being received, right? Example, health messages that conflict with cultural practices or beliefs. Okay, family planning related, or where joint families are there. Misunderstandings due to way health concepts are pursued in different cultures. A lack of cultural competence among health communicators, which can lead to miscommunication. Next is language, as I told. Differences in the language, dialects, literacy levels between the health communicator and the receiver, right? So this can affect the health education. Example is non-native speaker of a language which is foreign to that person. Medical jargon. We should not use medical terms in health education because they won't understand, right? So socioeconomic barriers, there are economic disparities which can limit the access to healthcare information and services, right? So low income individuals may have limited access to media channels like TV, etc. People with lower education, they may have difficulty in understanding what is being told, right? Again, literacy and economic constraints that prevent individuals from accessing the healthcare services. Psychological barriers, factors such as fear, anxiety, denial, emotional stress, they can influence how the health messages are being received. Okay, examples, people may avoid seeking health information due to fear of diagnosis. They may be fearing, what if I get diagnosed of cancer? So they will not go to test only. Okay, communication environment barriers, like environment in which communication takes place, including both the physical and social settings, they can impact the effectiveness. Poor lighting, noise, interruptions during the health education, social stigma or discrimination, inadequate communication infrastructure like poor internet connectivity. These are all restricting the education. Health literacy barriers, again, it is similar to the language. Okay, technological barriers. Technological barriers can limited access to familiarity with modern technologies like smartphones, computers, internet connectivity, inadequate digital literacy, technological issues such as inadequate web design, slow internet, etc. Interpersonal barriers. Interpersonal barriers are poor communication skills, lack of trust on the person, unresponsive health professionals. They can hinder the communication, right? Political and legal barriers, policies which restrict access to certain health services, like restriction on sexual and reproductive health education in some countries. Political instability, which will disrupt the resources, monetary resources for planning a health education. Okay, organizational barriers related to how health systems and organizations structure in their communication. Fragmented healthcare systems where information is not shared between departments. Which department is doing what, nobody knows. There is no coordination between the departments. Health workers' busy schedules, so they will lack the time for practicing the health education or delivering it effectively. Lack of coordination again. Okay, so thanks for watching Auricle. I suggest you to follow all the social media handles of Auricle and download the app on Google Play or Apple Store. Thank you.